This is the first whale walking on land, and its name was. Wait, let me tell you from the very first how it started. Life on Earth began from a single cell. Over millions of years, that one cell multiplied, evolved, and filled the ocean with countless forms of life. The ocean became home to millions of animals, small, large, fast, slow. And among all of them, one creature grew bigger than any animal that has ever lived. That animal is the blue whale. So what exactly is a whale? A whale is a large, warm-blooded marine mammal belonging to a group called cetaceans. Now, you might be wondering, what are cetaceans? Cetaceans are fully aquatic mammals, and they include whales, dolphins, and porpoises. Now, here's a question many people ask. Why are whales mammals, not fish? Let's look at fish first. Breathe using gills, lay eggs, are cold-blooded, do not produce milk. But cetaceans are different. They are mammals because they breathe air using lungs, give birth to live babies, feed their babies with milk, are warm-blooded, have hair at least during the early life stages. These are mammalian features, not fish features. That's why whales, dolphins, porpoises, and all cetaceans are mammals, not fish. Cetaceans are divided into two major groups, baleen whales and toothed whales. We will talk about how and why whales split into those two groups later in the video. When we think of whales, the first name that comes to mind is the blue whale, the largest animal to ever exist. But blue whales are not alone. There are many types of whale, such as orca, humpback whale, sperm whale, beluga whale, bowhead whale. Today, scientists know about 90 kinds of cetaceans in the world. That means whales, dolphins, and porpoises together. Out of these, around 40 are the animal we usually call whales, like the humpback whale, sperm whale, and the largest of them, blue whale. This raises some dangerous questions. Who were the ancestors of whales? Like, think of it, you came from your parents came from their parents meaning your grandparents came from their parents, your great-grandparents also came from their parents. So if we keep going back in time, how would they have looked? For humans, this is almost impossible to know. But for whales, we can actually look into the past because the earth kept their bones. Using fossils and scientific methods, scientists can reveal what whales look like millions of years ago. And what they found is shocking. The whales we see today were not always like that. So how did they look in the past? Were they giant sea monsters ruling the deep ocean? And here's the scary part. A study published on May 7, 2015 in the General Science Advance says that humans have explored only 0.001% of the deep ocean floor, which starts below 200 meters. Even though this deep part of the ocean covers most of the Earth's surface, the area we have actually explored is very tiny, about the size of Rhode Island. So what if creatures similar to those still exist in the deep, unexplored regions of the ocean today? How big were they compared to today's giants? And the real question is, could something like that still be out there? But before that, Can you guess how big the very first ancestors of whales were? For your information, the blue whale today can grow up to 90 to 98 feet long, so you might imagine its ancestor was even bigger, right? And obviously wrong. Not 90 feet, not 100 feet, just 6 feet. The earliest known ancestor of whales was only about 3 to 6 feet long, and its name was... A long time ago, about 50 million years ago, the land we call Pakistan looked very different. Shallow seas stretch across the landscape, and the creatures that roam here were mostly land animals. But among them live a very special creature, the very first whale, Pakicetus. Pakicetus means whale from Pakistan. It was an ancient animal that is now extinct, and is known as one of the earliest ancestors of whales. Pakicetus lived about 50 million years ago during the early Eocene period in the area that is now South Asia, especially Pakistan. Pakicetus lived both on land and near water. It could walk on land but also spend time in water, where it ate fish and small animals. Scientists found its first fossils in Pakistan, which is why it was named Pakicetus. Most scientists believe Pakicetus was the very first whale-like animal. It shows a transition, a change from land animals to modern whales. Interestingly, Pakicetus belonged to the avian-toed animals, and its closest living land relative today is the hippopotamus. Pakicetus was about the size of a wolf, walking on 4 legs like any ordinary land mammal, but there was something extraordinary about it. While it spent most of its time on land, it had a long skull that hinted at its future as a whale. Sometimes it would hunt in the shallow waters, catching fish, blending the worlds of land and sea. Scientists discovered its fossil in 1983 and immediately realized that this wolf-sized animal was no ordinary mammal. Its ear bones were shaped just like modern whales, allowing it to hear underwater. Its ankles bone connected it to even-toed hoof mammals like hippos, cows, and deer, showing that whales' ancestor once walked on solid ground. Pakicetus live along the edges of Teta Sea, where land meets shallow waters, a perfect place for a creature learning to live between two worlds. It was a bridge between land and the vast ocean that whales would one day rule. This story of Pakicetus also tells a bigger tale. Mammals returning to the sea is rare, but it has happened several times. Today, the oceans are home to around 100 species of mammals. Pakicetus may have been small, wolf-sized and walking on land, but it changed the course of evolution forever. And that is how the first whale walked the earth. Next, 49 to 48 million years ago came Ancestor, meaning the walking whale. It looked like a giant crocodile with legs. It could walk on land but swam by pushing with its feet and tail. It hunted in rivers and shallow seas. It could hear underwater just like modern whales. Ancestor was large, about 11 to 12 feet long, and had strong limbs. The animal probably could not walk well on land. After all, it had short legs that split from its body, flipper like king feet, and it weighed about 400 pounds. On land, it probably waddled and pulled its body with its forelimbs, a bit like sea lions do. In the water, Ancestor swam like a sea water using its gigantic, probably webbed hind feet. Then 47 to 45 million years ago, appeared Rhodesitus and similar species. Legs became shorter and weaker, the body became longer and more fish-like. Nostrils began moving upward on the skull, the tail became stronger for swimming. Now whales became fully ocean animals. 40 to 34 million years ago, species like Basilosaurus and Dorodon ruled the seas. They had tiny, useless hind legs, powerful tails, streamlined bodies. They could not walk on land at all. Around 34 million years ago, the ocean environment changed. food type change, hunting style change, so whales had to choose different survival paths. That's why one group evolved teeth and the other group evolved filters. As time passed, the sea offered two very different gifts. In some places, big fish and squid move fast and deep. In other places, the water shimmer with billions of tiny creatures, krill and plankton. Small, slow, but everywhere. And the ocean asks the whales a silent question. How will you eat? The first choice, the hunters. Some whales choose the path of the hunter. They chase fish through dark water they needed to catch, grip, and hold. So nature gives them strong teeth, sharp jaws, and a magical skill, echolocation. These whales became dolphins, orcas, sperm whales. They were fast, they were smart, they were hunter of the deep. The second choice, the giants. Other whales made a different choice. Why chase one fish when you could swallow a million tiny lives in a one gulp? Slowly their teeth fade away. In their mouth grew bellied, soft, calm like filters. They opened their mouth wide, took in the ocean itself and let the water go, eating only food. So we can say now that first came toothed whales, then came filter whales, because whale ancestors were first four-legged land mammals. For that reason, almost many whales were toothed. But a lot of million years passed. Whale ancestors evolved, and some of them saw there was huge food in the ocean. They thought this was the best thing for survival, so they chose filter feeding over teeth. And these whales grew huge because of the food. They became blue whales, humpback whales, grey whales, gentle, massive, peaceful giants. They no longer hunted the same way. They no longer looked the same, but deep inside, they were still family. One ancestor, two choices, two destinies. The ocean did not divide whales by force, it divided them by opportunity. Some became hunters of motion. Others became kings of abundance.